Sir,
Yes, good morning.
how is it?
Yes,
Good morning. Good morning. So, well, I will request all of you to make, we will make effective use of the chat over here, right? So, when I'll ask any questions and anything I would like to expect from all of you, we'll try to make sure that we work, we respond more on the chat. And wherever you think that you have to speak, so you can just unmute yourself and definitely, you're welcome and, you can speak your questions and everything as well. Right. So, hi, good morning. Good morning, student. Good morning, Janati, right? I hope I pronounced your name correct. Good morning, Ramesh. So, yeah, so I think we have most of the people, all the classes joined in, and really sorry for just, getting a little bit delayed. Yeah. So, good morning, Sanjana. Okay. So, before we go on, right, so I would like to understand from all of you, have you all downloaded and installed the software of R on your machines?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone who is having any troubles? Okay, Bhuvi, you are saying you are not able to install it. Uh, anyone else who do not have that software with them?
Amit, one thing I would like to add on, someone is logging with an administrator. I request to the people who are logging for the session, please make sure to mention your correct name because we required our attendance for your correct name. So please correct your name by clicking the right click and added the name. Because if your name is not going to reflect it, then you will be marked as a absent. So the person, yeah.
Please, please take care of that names and all. Okay. And please do not try to use a full abbreviation. Like I can see someone SP and others, and administrator as well. So those guys, please keep your name as complete. That would be really helpful. Okay, so the people who do not have R with them, right? So first of all, I would like to guide you all how you have to get the things ready to install. So let me just guide you on to that. Okay, just go on to the website that is cran.r.studio.com. Okay, let me share this link also onto the chat. Okay. So once you come onto this link, what you have to do is you just have to click on download R for Windows. Please follow it along. Okay, once you are over here, you just click on download R for Windows. And then you can click on install R for the first time. Okay, so all of you please get this thing installed. I'll just wait for all of you for 2-3 minutes to get this thing downloaded and installed. It should not take a lot of time. Please confirm me if anyone has any doubts or they are facing any challenge in terms of installing.
Sir, would you please tell me about Windows 732 system, operating system, how to install our software in 32 operating system?
See, once you will download this R over here, right? So this is something that gets downloaded both for 32 and 64-bit. So see, once you download this base R, so you will notice over here that for both the versions it would have been downloaded. Okay, so if you will come over here, so this is for 64-bit and another is for 32-bit. So these are two different versions that get installed. Okay, so just install this, and after this, what you all have to do is you have to just install the RStudio. Just click over here and come to the website, that is rstudio.com. And this is the one software that you all have to install. And just click on this. Let me share this link as well onto the chat. Okay, after installing the one that is so Bhavani, what is the problem? That why you are not able to install it?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Amit, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Not sure. I tried to download. Okay, it is showing me the installation, but I'm unable to open it. If you don't mind, can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure. I'll just make it a presenter. Okay. Yeah, so it is. I guess it is opened up the color, the highlighted yellow bubble that you see. Just click on that. Is it that? The
Which?
next to this, next to left one. Yeah.
No,
What's this?
this is my internal system.
Okay. So I think your does download. Is this complete?
This is one.
I think your download is not complete yet. That is what is not opening it up. You see, it is still not downloaded completely. So it is unconfirmed. It is saying download is not done yet completely. Let it download it first.
Okay.
Yeah, class. So I'll just take 2 minutes, right? I'll just do settle down some things. I'll just start in 2 minutes. Just give me.
Does it take much time to download?
Small file. I mean, it should not take a lot of time. Okay. So Bhavani, are you able to download this? And here. So Mohammed Ajaz, RStudio desktop. Yes, so you have to install that RStudio desktop. This one. Download RStudio desktop. Okay. And guys, Bhavani, can you please mute from your side?
Amit,
Amit,
Uh-huh.
I think it's downloaded.
Can you just click on then install? Okay.
Hi, good morning, Amit. Narendra here. I have
Yeah.
did the download, but it doesn't show on my desktop.
Sorry, you installed, you have done the installation, but not showing on your desktop.
Yes, yes.
No problem. Go to the Windows icon, and if you will go over here, you will see the folder of R being created. So this is the folder of R you will see.
hey Amit, Bhuvneshwari here. Internet problem. I'm just catching up. So I am in the RStudio page under product. Which one did you ask us to download? There are multiple options. I just need a little help in that.
So that is RStudio desktop. This is the one that you have to install. So if you will come onto the products, I will show you that again, how to navigate the link that I shared. Okay, just come onto that. And over there, you have to click on this RStudio.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amit, Bhavani here. R is now downloaded. It is while I set up, it is asking for the customized startup or accept default. So what is the option I should click on?
Just go by default. Go by default.
Okay.
Okay, so the first software that you all have downloaded, right? That is the R. So let me just walk you through for all the people who have already installed this. And in the meantime, others you can all keep on installing it up. And I'll just start with the very basic stuff over here.
Amit,
Okay, so when you
sorry,
install this R,
interrupting
yes,
you, Narendra here. It shows already exist. Would you like to install to that folder anyways? I mean, whenever I click an icon which is downloaded, which is a computer icon R/4.0.2 win.
I'll just take a look at it. Don't worry. And plus, before we just start up the sections, right? So I would just like to set up certain ground rules. Please, all of you, please take care of that thing. Okay. So before we just any one of us, start speaking into the middle, right? So please let us try to make sure we make use of an effective use of a chat, right? We have more than 40 people in this session, and I hope everyone can understand. If anyone comes and speaks up anytime over here, so it can create a small disturbance or a breakage in the session for the others. So I keep a regular track onto the chat. If you have any doubt, if you would like to say anything, you're not able to understand any of the topics, facing any challenge with the installation of the products, do not worry. I am there to help you out for each and everything. But please, let's just first ping on the chat so that I can take a break and others can I can pass on to the things somewhere. Okay, and apart from that, if you have any difficulty and challenges in terms of understanding the topic, yes, you can ping on the chat, and then after every 15-20 minutes, I will be making sure that I take a pause so that you all can ask your questions right away onto this session over here. Okay. And please, all of you, please, we will try to stay on the mute, right? And all of us will stay on the mute. And if you have to speak, unmute and just mute it right away, because otherwise again there will be a lot of background noise that will come up. Okay, so now coming back to this, right? So we have the first thing, that is the software that you all would have installed, that is the R software. Okay, so when you install this software of R, okay, so what happens over there is you will find by default it installs both the versions of R onto your machine. One is of 32-bit and another one is of 64-bit. Okay, so depending upon your machine, right, if you're using a 32-bit or a 64-bit, you can open that same version of R. Say suppose right now my machine is 64-bit. So what I'll do is I'll open up the 64-bit version of this R over here. Now this is how the software of R looks like, or once it gets installed when you first open it up. Now in this console window that you will see, this is where all the packages, I mean the main, the engine, like the car has an engine, same way this is the engine of the R, like wherever the entire processing and complete the like anything to everything that you do into the R takes place over here, right? So let us just start and write the very first 2-3 lines of a code. So if I say 8 plus 5, it gives us 13, right? I say 8 into 12, it gives me some multiplication. So I'm just using it like a calculator right now over here. Okay, now if you will notice, this interface is not that user friendly, right? For a person who is not from a kind of a coding background, they will definitely find it very new and something they will not be able to absorb it right away. So in order to make sure that we do the coding in a very comfortable way, there is an IDE that is available for the R. Okay, let me just open it up on Notepad. Let me define what is IDE. Okay, IDE is defined as integrated development environment. Okay, so what do we mean by IDE is, like it is like a graphical user interface. It is a layer of another software which we use, which gets integrated, right? So just go by this definition, right? Just try to understand this term, integrated development environment. So what that software does is it gets integrated with this and it gives you a whole new development experience. Okay, it will give you a whole new development experience. That is what an IDE stands for. Like you can write the R codes in the RStudio, the one software that we will be using in today's session. You can use Google Colab. You can write it, there are other softwares as well that are available on the Anaconda, on which you can write your R codes. Now this is what that IDE is that we all are installing. So let me just make it all clear so that doesn't create anything disturbance. I mean, the way it will look like for the first time to all of you. I'm just closing everything. Yeah, so this is what that software of IDE, that RStudio, the second software that you all have installed, looks like, right? So if you will see over here, in this section, you see this console that is coming up. This is nothing. This is the same console that you see that we have used in this R software. Okay, this is the R console. You can see all this information that is coming up over here can be seen over here as well, right? So NLP, but running in English mode. So this is the same thing that is coming up over here. If I write something over here, 8 plus 5, I get the same result into this window. But this window is little more interactive, right? This is more interactive, and if you will see, you will find it, it has much more better control in terms of what we do, what we write into this. Okay, so this is the main software that we will be using, which will be kind of interacting with the R software in order to get the results done. Okay, So this is how. So we will just be going through this, and I'll be letting you know that what different options that you all see over here are, what are they used for. Okay, so Mohammed, that is, you're saying you have an atom ID. Yes, you can use that, but I will still advise to use RStudio over here, because all the options and everything that I'll be discussing over here, I will be telling on the RStudio. So if you will have particular questions related to the atom IDE, that where you will find that option or how you will do that. So I won't be able to help you out over there much, right? So I will advise you to please install RStudio to be on the same page as the session goes in. Diksha, it is giving me pop-up to select from R64 and R32, right? So Diksha, this is the same option that you see, that if totally depends upon your machine, which machine you are using. Okay, so you can check your machine configuration by going to this PC, right click over there, go to the properties, and see, you will find over there mentioned, like this is my system is 64-bit. So same way you can check on your machine as well. If your is a 64-bit, download the 64 version, or if you have 32-bit, download the R32 version of that. Okay. And Narendra, I think you are having some troubles, so I can just assist you in getting that thing rectified. So I mean, you can unmute if you have troubles. You can just we can discuss like what is the problem that you're getting.
Yes, Amit, I have downloaded multiple times, and it's every time asking me to reinstall it.
Let me just make it the presenter. Yeah, you can share your screen, so I'll help you out with that.
Okay.
So your previous version, the previous software is installed. I right now see the RStudio, you are installing this RStudio right now.
Yes, Amit. Here, there is something has been installed.
No, this is the that downloading. We have downloaded the application. See, can you go back to your the browser, Chrome?
Yes.
So there are two links that I opened. See at open up on your machine, right? One is the comprehensive archive network. The first previous to this. You have this download RStudio window, and then there is another comprehensive R window that is opened up. Before this, it's already open. I mean, I can see it opened up on your browser. Yep. So from this page, have you downloaded the software?
Yes, Amit, I've already downloaded.
Okay. And have you installed that?
Yes, I did so. I believe I did.
Okay. Yeah, click on this Windows icon. Just click on the Windows icon so that I can tell you where the software is.
Yes.
Okay. Just type R in the search. Write R.
And there is, yes.
Okay. Just a single. Yeah, click on search. So Diksha, I think you know what you are doing is you are straight away clicking on that link of you're straight away downloading that RStudio, right? First of all, I shared the two links over here on the chat. First, you have to install the comprehensive R network from this link. There are two software that you have to install, so they have to be into the sequence. Okay, just go on to this link that I have shared with you over here on the chat. Yeah, so you see, Narendra, you can see the two version of the R, right? So what is you are using 64-bit or 32-bit. So your RStudio is also installed. Just see on the right hand side at the top, right hand side top,
Okay.
last option. Yes, click on this. Finish this. Your machine is a little slow in terms. So all your softwares are done now, right? I mean, there is nothing that you need to install now. So I can see all the softwares being installed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you just make me the presenter, please, so that I can share my screen? So yeah, you have this RStudio working up and running.
Yes, it is running now.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So Sakshi, you are saying what are crash reports? I mean, crash report. I mean, is your is your this RStudio got unexpectedly closed? If that is the case, you can click on no, and sometimes that happens that it just got crashed and you get that. So you can click on no over there.
Hi Amit, can I just share my screen and show what error is actually showing up for me?
Yeah, so that is, I think you just got disconnected. So I've shared a link over here. Actually, you have right away, you have just downloaded one software, right? This is the one that you have installed.
Yeah, I've downloaded this one.
Right. So, but before that, you have to install this software over here. So I've shared a link with
I've
you over
installed
there.
it, this one also. I've clicked on install R for the first time and it's being installed in the folder. And I finished the installation process from there and then downloaded the other one.
Okay, let me just check your screen. So I see two names of yours coming. One is Diksha and Diksha Web. So which one should I make the presenter?
Let me just present my screen. Give me a second.
No, I'll have to make you the presenter for that. So I can see your
Present Diksha Web.
Okay. Yeah, you can share your screen now.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can see it.
Yeah. So I have downloaded it from here first, install R for the first time.
Okay.
And after installing this, I went here and downloaded it from here.
Okay.
And yes,
Can you
when I
click?
go,
So there is this R software that I see opened up at the bottom, right? Can you just go next to this Google Chrome at the bottom?
sorry?
At the bottom. In the bottom in this the taskbar, you see there is R icon that you see. There is R that is written. No. In the taskbar, just extremely at the bottom bar, the black color bar that you see. At the bottom, yes. Below the last extreme right down, yes.
Yeah,
This
it's
R
showing
icon.
me this now. R does not appear to be installed.
Yeah, let me just check it out, right? Let me just see what is happening. Okay, so R does not appear to be installed. So, okay. Click on no over here. Click on cancel. Yeah, okay. Okay, now click on Windows icon. Okay, scroll it down. Yeah, keep going down up till R. So your R is not installed yet, right? So your first software that you have that is not yet installed. So you need to install that first.
From
Okay,
here,
so
comprehensive.
right. Install R for the first time. Click on this. Download the first option that you have. Download R. The above link. Above link. This is the one that you have to download.
Installation. Okay,
Right.
it's
So
being
once this
installed.
gets installed, once this gets installed, then you have to install that RStudio. Then it will start working.
Okay, then I have to again download the RStudio.
Yeah, because previously it didn't got installed, right? Because without that, the software doesn't get installed. So you'll have to just install that once. So it won't take much time.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I'll try this. Thanks.
No problem. So can you please make me the presenter again so that I can share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
So Bhavani, you have to download and install as well, right? So after downloading, have you installed the softwares? Yeah, Disha, please make me the presenter.
I'll stop sharing my screen.
Actually, no, so installation, it doesn't prompt Bhavani. It will not prompt you to install the software, right? Once the software gets downloaded, you just have to click on that software to get it installed.
I just did that, Amit. It's asking, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device?
Yes, so that is what that installation means. So you have to click on yes.
I did. Okay.
Okay. Right, so then the software installation will start. Okay, so first, please make sure that you install the R, right? Bhavani, do not install the RStudio first, otherwise you will also get the same error. First install the R and then install the RStudio.
Yeah, I installed R.
Perfect. Okay, so now I hope all of us are having this software, know how to install it and get the things ready. So shall I move ahead? Okay. Diksha, I will request you to please mute it from your side.
I've done the same. I've stopped sharing my screen.
No, please mute.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's see. Now this is how these, the environment of RStudio looks like. Okay, so now this is how the software of RStudio looks like. Now in this, let me just, first of all, make you all aware with how this, what these different options are over here. Okay, because, most certainly we will always be working on this software only. Now, first of all, this is the console window, right? Console window is what? Where the complete execution of all the codes that you write that takes place. Okay, that is called as a console window. Now just click on the file option, click on the file option and click on new file and use R script. Use as the option of R script over there. So once you will be here on this R script page, so now this is the window where what you can do is you can actually write down your codes. Okay, so you can write your codes over here or you can write your code over here. Now the difference between the two things is this, that when you write something over here, it gets executed the moment you hit your enter key. Okay, like if I'll say 5 multiplied by 4 and I hit enter, it will be executed right away. Now, but in the script window, what you can actually do is you can control. So if I say 5 multiplied by 4, okay, if I hit enter, you see nothing has been done yet. Now this R script window is nothing. It is like a notepad. Okay, this is something like a notepad where what you can do is you can write and you can then, kind of instruct R that what you will like to get installed when, or what you will like to get, kind of executed once you have written your code. So for example, now I want to execute this line. So I will just select this and click on run. You will notice ultimately the execution will happen over here only, right? The execution will be happening over here in this window only, but the command has been executed from this window right now. This is called a scripting window. This is called a script window. Okay. Now, when we talk of this script window over here, this is something basically where what you will notice is that you, first of all, you were able to control what you wanted to do. And secondly, you can save this code as well. Whatever code you will be writing over here, you can save this as well for your future reference. If you would like to execute that same code in the future, you can save that up. Okay, that is the first thing. That is the R script window. The second thing is the console window. Okay. Now what I'll be doing up over here is, so this window will come up from here. You have to click on File, New File, and click on R script. So that is, this window will open up. File, New File, and R script. Okay. Now what you will see over here is, let's come on to the right hand side. This is called as the environment window. What is environment window? Environment window is basically, what we do, whatever we do in the R, we do it with the help of variables. Okay, what we do is we create a lot of variables over here. So what is a variable? Can anyone tell me what is a variable?
Please. Where we can be able to
please make use of chat. Like I have not just told you one just right now. Please make use of chat. If all the people will speak, we will not be able to go ahead with the session. Okay, so Nandini says variables can be value, though they are numbers, character, or data. Variable can be values, characters, and yes. Object, Bhuvi says object which stores values. So right, so like the most of you are able to get it right. So what are variables? Variables are something that are used to store data. Okay, variables are something that are used to store data, and right underneath that too temporarily. Okay, for a temporary purpose, what you want to do is you want to create a small storage space which will store some value in it. Right, like you all would have used a lot of variables in your class 10th, 8th, and 9th, right? Where you used to say that let x be a variable and let x equal to 6. Okay, we used to say this thing, right? In your class 9th and 10th, you all would be kind of remembering that out. So if I say let x equal to 3, so x used to be our variable which was holding that value of 3 for a temporary time over there. Now same is the concept in the R as well. See, now please understand this thing part very, very clearly. R does not have its own format of storing the data. Okay, so R does not have its own format of storing the data. What do I mean by that is, what happened is, like when you, I hope all of you would have used the Word, right? You all would have used the Excel. You all would have must use the Notepad. Okay, what you do is when you store something in the Word, that Word file is saved by the name of .doc. When you save something in the Excel, that file gets saved with the extension .xlsx, right? When you save something in the Notepad, it gets saved by the .txt. By this, what you are able to understand is that by this extension, you are able to understand that the file is in this format. But now R does not have its own format. Okay, what does R do is R will always store the data temporarily. Okay, it will always store the data temporarily in your RAM. Okay, so it does not have its own format. Say suppose you have some data in the Excel. What you will be doing is you will be importing the data from that Excel. It will be saved into your R. Okay, Excel data. It will come into the environment of R, right, where it will be stored in RAM. And then what will happen is after your you will start doing your processing on that data. Okay, but when I say processing means like you might clean the data, you might do some analysis on the data, whatever you want to do. After the processing is done, finally you will have to move back that data to Excel or TXT or any file, right, or CSV, any type of a file. Because if you will not save that data in any of these files, this data that was there in the R, it will be kind of deleted. Okay, the data will get deleted if you close the R section. The moment you will close that R section, what will happen is the data will not be there anymore further. Okay, that is why I'm saying that even the moment you close the file, the data will be deleted. So that is why I am saying R always store the data temporarily in your RAM, and it does not have its own format of storing the data. And where does it store the data? It stores the data into your variables. Okay, so we will be always creating some variables, and that is where we will be storing all the data. So now what I'll do is, let us come back to this. So this is this environment window that you see, that is the same. You will see all the variables being created over here. Any variable that you will create, it will be visible over here. So let us start with that. Let us create a first variable. Let us create X, and let me say X equal to 3. Okay, I am creating a variable X. I am saying X equal to 3, and let us run this. Now you will notice I have not got any output, but instead what I have got is I have got a value that is created, a variable that is X, and the value of that X is 3. Okay, so I've created a variable X, and the value that I've stored in this is 3, and I can see that over here in this environment window. Similarly, you will notice something as history. History is something that gives you the details of all the previous codes that you would have written till the time from that beginning that the R section is opened up. Okay, so that is what your this history window does. Yes, Nitin, so there is a command. The shortcut key for running the command is the control plus enter, right? Control plus enter, that is the shortcut key. Okay, that is the shortcut if you want to execute any of the code. So like, you know, every time you click on this run, so what you can do is you can also hit control and enter, control plus enter, to do the execution of the command. You see, I just executed control plus enter, and I can see the command has been executed, and the value is still the same. X is 3 over here. So this is something that is called as your variables. Okay, do not worry much on this right now. We will be talking much in a deeper detail what variables are and what type of different values to be stored in it. Okay, so we will be talking on that. Now what I'll do is I'll come down a little bit. I'll just come down a little bit over here, and you will find there's a section of files, plots, packages, help, and viewer. Okay, so what are these different options, right? So let us try to see and understand this. Now these are more of the options which are related to the functioning of this R that we are going to use in this. Okay, so what do you understand by the files? When the word files come to your mind, what do you understand by that? When I'm on the files over here, so I would like to hear from you guys What do you understand by this? Word files. Okay, data, right, Ramesh? See, files is nothing, is basically the folder management. Okay, files is nothing, it is just the folder management. Right, Subhakaran, we can say it as a path as well. Okay, so what we do is basically this files is basically the folder where we define from where we would like to pick up the data and where we would like to save the data, or where we would like to save our codes. All the R code that you will write, where will you save it, right? You need some path for that. That is where this file section comes into play. Okay, by default, this folder that you see, this folder is where the R is installed. Okay, this is the default location. So this location that you see right now, okay, the path that you see right now, this is nothing, this is just the default path where the R is installed right now. Okay, this is a path that gets kind of created by default when you are installing the RStudio for the first time. Okay, but definitely you can change this path if you want. I'll just let you know how you will change it and how we will work with this. Okay, now the next thing that you will see over here is the plots. Okay, what is plots? Plots is nothing. If you will be creating any of the charts over here, right, when you will create any of the charts will be showcased over here. Any chart that you will create, the chart will be visible over here in this section of this. Okay, packages. Now packages is something very, very important to understand. Okay, now packages is basically R and Python, all the two languages that you will be learning. Okay, so yeah, Uma, just give me a minute, right? So I'll just take a look at it. Just give me a moment. So when you take a look at the packages, okay, so packages are the integral part of R and Python. So now what happens over there is anything to everything, right? Anything to everything that we do in the languages like R and Python, what we do is we do it with the help of different packages. Like for example, if you want to make some charts, there is a package that is available that is called as ggplot. Okay, so like there is a package that is ggplot, which stands for grammar of graphics. Okay, now similarly you have, you know, like in the complete library of R, there are more than 11,000 packages that are available. More than 11,000 packages, right? So definitely we cannot do all, we cannot study all the 11,000 packages. We will be studying the widely used packages into the field of data science. Those are the packages that we will be learning up. But these are what the packages are. See, what will happen is you will not get all these 11,000 packages pre-installed. You will not get all those packages pre-installed. What you have to do is you have to install the package in order to use it. So you will see there are certain base packages. There are certain base packages that come pre-installed, but most of the packages that we will be using, we will have to download and install them. So from where do we download the packages, right? So from where do we download the package? So the question comes to our mind. So what we do is we download the package from CRAN. Okay, what does CRAN mean? CRAN stands for Comprehensive R Archive Network. Okay, now this is where, this is like a repository. Okay, what is this? This is nothing. This is exactly like a repository. This is a repository that we have. And what do we mean by repository? Repository means a storage place. Okay, repository means a storage place where all the packages and the stuff related to R is available. That is what we understand by the term CRAN. Okay, so that is, and this is the same website where you all, you know, from where you install the R for the first time. If you will take a look in this is a website, cran.rstudio. So this is just like a, you know, this is the complete I will say a repository where all the utilities of R are available. So when you will be installing any of the package, you will actually notice, you know, your RStudio will hit this website in order to install that up. Are you all getting the point? Okay. So yeah, so I think this is, I'll let you take some questions if you have any. Okay, so Uma, you have your question. If the files, so what? Your question is, if the file is saved as source file, does the data still get deleted? No, so in that case also, it is just like it is temporarily stored in that case, right? So data do get deleted every time when you close that R session. Okay. So once you close that R session, what happens in that case is all the variables that you would have created, that they will all be deleted over there. But if you definitely store, you store that complete, you save that complete workspace, in that case, the data will not be deleted, but somewhere, you will be compromising the, the memory of your system. Yes, Subhakaran, you can save your code. You can save your code because they will be the main source, which we will be executing again and again. So Subhakaran, the code has a format, right? When you save the code, okay, when we save the code, so code is saved by the format of .r. Okay, so if you will save the code, the save codes will be saved by .r. So that is how all the codes are saved. Okay, so now coming back to this, so these are the packages, right? So packages are something that we will be installing, and we will be seeing them again. Then what you do is, then you see there's the next section over here that is called as help window.
Sir, I did not get it. You have talked about the code saving as a .r. Could you please explain that?
See, when you save this to the script that you see, if I want to save this, I can save this file. Okay. So say suppose I want to save it into one of my folders. Okay, so I'll just save into my folder over here, and let me save it by the today's date, 10th October. So I'm saving this file. So when this file gets saved, you see this file is saved by the extension 10october.r. That is the extension by which the code that you would have used that gets saved. Okay. So you can see .r being written over here. That is the format in which the codes are saved. Mohammed Naved, you saying, can you repeat? See, packages, so Naved, I was telling you, like packages are something that we use for complete functionalities of the R. Okay. So which are used for the complete functionalities, so for doing different type of tasks, like if you have to create some charts or if you have to do some data manipulation or any sort of that stuff, what we do is we actually download and install a lot of packages. Okay, so packages are, you can call it as, for example, like you go to a saloon. Okay, on the saloon, what happens is they offer you a lot of package. Like if you will say, I want to have a package where, this is of 2,000 rupees. What they will do is they will give you a haircut, they will do a massage, they will do, shaving and all. That is what a package is. Or maybe you go for a holiday package, right? So each different package has its own different features. Like in this package, you will get a hotel stay, air tickets and all. So similarly, you have packages in the R as well, but definitely they're not for your travel and all. They are for the purpose of using it so that, you can do the different functionalities. So there are more than 11,000 packages that are available. So definitely we can't cover all the 11,000 packages. We will only be covering those packages which are essential for your journey of the data science. Okay. So I will be letting you know how to download and install the packages. That will be a part of this session going forward. Then there is very important and very crucial feature that is available in the R, that is called as your help. What is help? Help is nothing. Help is basically, if suppose there is any function that you are not able to understand that how you have to use it, you can simply type that over here. If I type mean over here, it will give me what does mean do, right? It will give me the complete description about that. Okay. If now I want to see what does median do, so it will give you the complete instructions around how to use that function median over here. So that is exactly what that help is. Or you can also do it like this. You just write question mark and type the function name. If you will type the function name over here, what will happen is it gives you that help over here, right? So right now I just passed the median. Let us pass again the mean on this. See, now it gives you the complete history about the definition about me. So you can always reach out to the help in case you would like to see that thing. Okay. Now you have the last option, that is viewer. Okay, viewer is basically where what you do is, this is again which is used for the purpose of charts only. So there are certain kind of interactive charts that we can create in the R. So those interactive charts will be visible in this viewer section. Okay, so these are the different options that we have: files, plots, packages, help and viewer, environment, history, the script window, and this is the console window. Okay, so let us get started onto this. So now we have just got that basic understanding about this environment, right? You will get more and more, you will get adapt to it the more we will work on it, right? So do not worry if you are still getting confused around any of the areas that why are we using it. We will be seeing all these things practically and you will be able to figure that out. Okay, so we have some Sakshi. So you have, if we save the codes in .r and close it, will it still be there in the folder? Yes. Right, Sakshi, if you will save the code and the codes will still be there and you will be able to open them up for the future use. Okay. Now, Uma, you're asking how to save it in other formats, because when I click as save as, still I'm getting all files. I mean, so see, when you click on the save as, still you will get that save option. You're trying to save that script file. So you can just save it by this name. You just have to click in and let us click on this. Let me call it as the 10th October part 2. Right. So if I'll go back to that folder over here, okay, if I'll go back to my folder, so what will happen is you can still see both the codes are saved by that R format, right? So if you will right click over here, you will be able to see their extension as well. You can see .r, right? So from this folder, anytime if you will open these files, these are like permanently saved on your machine. So you can open this file anytime in order to see that code, what that code you have written over here. Okay, Vishal, the question is, what is the difference between plots and viewers? Plots is basically, there are two types of charts that we create. One are static charts and another are interactive charts. Okay, so static charts will be visible in your plots window. Okay, static charts will be visible in the plots window and interactive charts will be visible in the viewer window. That is what the difference between two options is. Okay. Now let us get started onto this. Now what we will do is, so CRAN is the way that is written in front of you. This is like a repository from where all the functionalities of R are installed. From where you have also installed this main software of R. That is what that CRAN R is. CRAN is, right? Comprehensive R Archive Network. Okay, what we'll do now is, let us try to understand with the first thing. We will start with the very first aspect of this R. We will try to understand what are the different data types that are available in the R. So what are data types? Okay, the question comes in, what are data types? Data types are basically the format or the type of the data that you have. Okay, like if I say 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is what? This is a numeric data. Okay, now this is called as a numeric data. So basically R has variety of data types into which your data can be saved. The first of that is the numeric. Okay, and by the way, I would just like to tell you one more thing. If you would have noticed, at few of the places I have written this hash symbol and then I am writing the code. What do I mean by that is, when you write hash, that becomes a comment. Okay, this is the comment over here. What do we mean by comment? Comment means a part in that code which will not be executed. Okay, comment is something that is called as a part of the code which will not be executed. I hope I'm making sense to all of you. Okay. So it is always a good idea to write down the comments. If you are writing some big codes, they are really helpful in terms if you share that code with any other person, they will be able to read your comments and they will be able to understand that what you are trying to do in that code over there. Okay. Now I was talking about the data type. So R has all the different type of data that we generally use. They are all available over here in this R. So first is numeric. What do I mean by numeric? Numeric means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all your numerical numbers. So that is called as a numeric data type. So say suppose I create a variable num. Okay. In this num, what I'm doing is I'm saving the value as 15. So you will notice a variable has been created over here and the value of in that variable is 15. Okay, num 15. Now do you notice something interesting over here? If you will see over here, what I have done is I have used a different kind of a symbol right now. Okay, I use a different kind of a symbol over here, and that symbol is less than and a dash. This is the symbol that I have used. This is called as a assignment operator. Okay, this is called as assignment operator. What do I mean by assignment operator? Assignment operator means the value of 15 will be assigned over here to this variable that is num. Okay, so value 15 is assigned to this variable num over here. So all of you please create this variable and store the value. Now similarly what I'll do is I'll create another variable num2. So see, when you are creating a variable, you have to make sure that you do not use a space in that variable name or you do not use any special characters in that variable name. Okay, you can use a dot in case if you want, or you can use an underscore if you want. Okay, do not use space. If you will put up a space, it will give you an error. Okay, you cannot use a space in that. So you have to write it num2. So I am assigning a value as, say suppose 5.3. Now what I've done is I am assigning a value that is decimal. Okay. So now if you will see, what I've done is I have assigned the value as num2. I'm getting another variable. So moment I run this line, okay. See, now please pay little attention to this. What I'm doing is I'm not selecting this entire line. What I'm doing is I'm over here at the last point of this line, or I can be anywhere. If I'll press Control Enter, what will happen is it will by default execute that line where that cursor is. So you can notice there is another variable that is created, and in that variable what I have done is I have stored two values, 15, and in another I have stored the value as 5.3. So in one I have the whole number, in the another I have the decimal number. Okay, so all the numbers, right, whether it's a numeric or it's a whole number, decimal number, they all come under the family of numeric, right? Ultimately they are the numbers that we are playing with. Okay, and if you will notice, so right, you might just do not get confused over here, like I use equals to, and over here I use this arrow and a hyphen sign. Okay, so they both do the same thing. They both are called as the assignment operator. You can use either this or you can either use this. Both of them have the same purpose. There is no difference between these two. Okay, so this is just like a symbol that is available just in the R. So R, because of its language, they have created their own assignment operator that works like this. So you can either use this or you can use this. Both will serve the same thing. Okay, I hope making sense to all of you. Okay. Great. Now this is the numeric data that we just discussed. Now the second type of a data that we have in the R is that is the character data. Okay, we have a second type of a data that is called as character data. What is character data? Like all the data that has some alphabets or alphanumeric. Okay, so now if you see over here in the character, when you are storing a character data, so that is like your name, your name of the state, city. That is something that is called as a character data over here. Let us create another variable. Let's create a variable by the name of say suppose let us call it as let us define a variable as what we can call it as school. I'm just getting a variable by the name school, and I want to now store a character data in it. So character data is something that will come in the double quotes. Okay, I am saying Matrices. Now what I'm doing is I am trying to save some character data. So if you will see now, another variable has been created by the name of school and Matrices. So I have just saved a character data right now into this variable. If you will take a look, right, so these are the numeric and this one is character. And character data is something that will come in the double quotes. I hope making sense to all of you. Perfect. Now what we have is we have third type of data set, the data type that is called as logical. Okay. Now what is logical? Logical data is basically your true and false. True and false is something that is called as your logical data. A data that can just have two types of output, that is true or false, that is called logical. So how do you define a logical data set? Let me define a variable as true. If I say capital T, that means I am saving the value as true in that. Or I can write complete true like this also. Okay, that is true. If you will see now, true, this is the name of my variable, and the value that I have saved in this, that is a logical data that I have saved. Okay, this is true or false. Let us create another variable by the name of false. I want to save the value as f in it, that is false. So you can see now false has been saved over here. So that is your logical data. The logical data is also just the true and false. So Nandini, you are asking how we will find data type to be explicitly declared. What do you mean by that? Sorry. I mean, you want to see what is the data type of a particular variable that you have created. That is something that you want to understand. So we do not have that type of coding environment over here, Nandini. So basically, we do not say declare this as in something like that. What we do is when you are creating that variable, at that point of time itself, its data type is defined. If you would have mentioned something into the double quotes, it will take it as a numeric. If you divide it, if you are putting some number, it will by default take it as the number over there. So we do not have to kind of declare something in this. Okay, then we have the next type of a data type that is called as your complex. Okay, what is complex, right? Anyone remembers complex numbers, studying complex numbers in the class 9th or 10th? Anyone? Right, iota, correct. Right, under root minus 1. So we used to have that something called as under root minus 1. 2i plus 4j, right? Iota, we used to call it as iota. That is something that is called as complex numbers. So let us define a variable that is complex. I want to store the value as 4 plus 3 iota. Okay. So when you define something like this, it totally takes that up as a complex number. Now you can use, so although we will nowhere be using the complex number anywhere in our entire course, but since this is one of the data types, we should be knowing about it. Okay. So all the variables that we have defined, so how can I figure out what's the data type of each variable? So how can I make out? Okay, so we have a function for that, that is called as class. Okay, the moment you type in that function, so R is very smart. It gives you all those things in the intelligence case. And just to mention very thing in the bold over here, R is case sensitive. Okay, please take care of this thing very, very importantly. If any function is starting with capital or a capital C and you write it with a lowercase c, it will give you an error. If the function is starting with a small c and you are writing it with the uppercase c, it will give you an error. So please always remember R is case sensitive. Let us check out the class of the variable that is, say, suppose complex. Okay, so we create a variable complex. I want to check out the class. Class means data type. What is the data type of that particular variable? So I am using complex over here. So I am saying class of complex. What is that? That is the complex number. Okay. If I say I want to find out the class of num, what will be that? Numeric, right? I want to check out the class of true. Okay, that is logical. I want to check out the class of school. Okay, that is character. So I can very clearly and very easily figure out what's the data type of each of the variable that we are using over here. I hope it is making sense to all of you. Okay, so anyone still who is not able to catch up? Okay, perfect. So I see all of you are able to understand up till this part over here. Okay, so we are defining the variables over here and we have that we have in this. The next thing that I would like to show you over, the next thing that we will covering over here is the working character. Yes, Bhavani, character is alphanumeric. So for example, if I define any variable, say suppose alpha, I'm creating a variable alpha, and in this I am storing the number as 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3 ABC. This is alphanumeric. Okay, so if you will see, this is being stored as this. Say suppose I do not want, if I do not put this into the double quotes, what will happen in that case? Okay, you see unexpected symbol in this. So this is not letting you store, right? Because the syntax is not correct. So I have to put it to store it. Okay. Now with this, I would just like to show you something that is related to your, the customization of the R. Okay, if you think that, you would like to customize your R a little bit. Okay. Now what will happen is you can just come to the tools and click on the options. Okay, just click on the tools over here and you will find the option of global options. Just come to this option of appearance. If you think you want to change the look and feel of your R, there are a lot of options available for that. Like you can change the theme if you want, you can edit the font, you can change the color themes and all. So you can just change that up and you can change the look and feel of your R that you are using. Okay, if you want to change that, so you can easily do that up. Okay, so you will find a lot of different options of doing it. Just have to come to the tools and global options. Okay, and click on the appearance. And on the right hand side, you will find those options related to it. Okay. Now what we'll be doing over here is let us try to understand something again very important, that is the working directories. Okay, so what are working directories? Let us try to understand that up. Before that, I would like to give, so Harmeet, you have a question. It gives priority to correct. Yes, correct, Harmeet. So it always gives a priority to that corrected data type. So it is true with any language, right? Any software language that you will work with, they will always give more priority to the character data type and less to the numeric and all. You will be seeing that up as we move ahead, and we will be kind of studying a different type of data structure, the data structures over here. You will see that the character numbers are always given a priority. Friends, you are asking in complex numbers, it saved complex to 4 plus 3 iota. It number, then it must be having any value. What if we define the value of this I? I'm not able to get a question.
Hello, Amit. Can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, friends.
Yeah, I'm asking, like, we are defining variables. We defined x equals to 13. So what if in the case we define I equals to something value like suppose 10? So will it be using the values of iota in the complex form, or
No. It will be a variable. It will be a variable. So if you say I and say suppose I set I as value as 10, so you can see variable I is created. If I check out the value, it gives me the value as 10. Okay. So it will not save the iota, it will save whatever the value you would have saved into it. Okay, so now let us move ahead onto this. Before I just go ahead, there are a couple of questions that I see. Naveen, you're asking how to create new working slide on R, as you have, I mean, you want to open up a new coding window? Is this what you're asking? If you want to open a new coding window, you can just click on file and click new file and R script. It will open one more window for this. So you can write some codes over here, and if you want to write the code over here, so you have both the two options. Okay. And Prasanna, you're asking, does the logical operators have precedence? So basically, so it is more like, so I will say it as yes and no both, right? So like, for example, this is something, we will be able to understand it better when we will be doing something called as vectors. Okay, so I'll take this question up over there. So in just a moment, we will be doing that up, and we will understand this thing in a much better way over there. Okay, so now what we will see over here is we will try to understand what are working directories. Okay, working directories are basically, as I mentioned, that working directories are something where we want to save our codes. Okay, any code that I have created, by default, say suppose I want to save it, say suppose in a particular folder, or maybe I want to, what I want to do is I want to load the data from an external file. So what we do is actually, what we do is we actually specify and tell that we create that folder as a working directory, so that we do not have to write complete path everywhere. So how do we do that? See, by default, if you will see, this is the folder that is my working directory. This folder is nothing. This is the folder of my documents over here. See, this folder, the documents folder, is by default considered as your default working directory. You will find this coming as a default working directory. If I'll come over here as well, if I'll show you up, right? So if you will see all the files that you see over here, okay, they are visible over here as well into my R. You see these folders and everything, all the folders that you were able to see in the documents, they are over here as well. SQL Server, Visual Studio, Tableau, all these softwares are in this folder only. So this folder is kind of visible to me over here. What I will do now is I'll click on these three dots. Click on these three dots over here. Just click on these three dots. Go to that particular folder which you would like to use as your working directory. Okay, go to that folder which you will like to use as your working directory. So I'll come over here and I'll open this up. You will see that folder now, all the files of that folder are visible, and I'll click on more and I'll set as working directory. So you have to run two commands. First of all, click on the three dots, select that folder, and then click on more and say set as working directory. What will happen in that case is that particular folder will start working as a working directory now. So now you see all the files of that folder are visible to me over here. Okay, sales target, sample superstore, all these files that you see right now, these are what are visible to me over here. Now, if I want to use any of the files from this folder, I will not have to define the complete path names everywhere. I just have to give the file names. So R will understand that the file is placed in this folder over here. Okay, that is what we understand by the term working directory. And you can do that if you will notice, if you will see, ultimately there was a command that was executed by the R, okay, in order to create that working directory. So there are two types of commands that we use. One is getwd. This is a command used to check the current working directory path. Okay, this is something that we use to check the current working path. Let me show you. If I say getwd, getwd means get the working directory. It gives you the path that your current working directory is this. Okay, if you want to change it, you can use the command setwd, and you can put the path of any of the folder that you want to work as your working directory. Say suppose I pick up this path. What I'll do is I'll put that path over here in the double quotes, and you will have to make sure that you change this to /. If I'll run this, now my working directory is changed. Now my working directory is D drive Philippines folder. And if I want to keep this as my working directory, so I can again copy this up. I can copy this up and I will say setwd Control V, and there we are. I have changed my working directory again back to that articles folder. Okay, so this is what we are doing by changing the working directory. So getwd is used to check the current working directory path, and setwd is something that we use to change our working directory. Okay, anyone, any questions up till here? Okay, so I understand. So I hope all of you are making sense.
Sir, whenever I restart my computer, then it's automatically changed its working directory. Why it is happening?
Yeah, so it will always happen. So whenever you close the R and you open it again, so the default working directory that is where the R is installed, that gets changed. It is always changed back to that default working directory. But if you want to change that,
sir, if I want to change my default working directory, then what is the procedure to do it?
So come to the global options. Okay, so what you will do is you can change it from here. You will click on the change window over here and you can change that default where that default working directory is. Okay, so you can change it from here.
Sir, when I am trying to set
Yeah, so Nandini, I'm just taking up
the
your
working
question.
directory, I'm
So
getting error.
Yeah, so the error that you're getting is because you're not. Yeah, please. So your problem is you are not using the correct symbol, and you have to use this, right? This slash as this one. You are using this slash. That is what the problem is.
Okay.
Okay. Because when you copy the path, in that case, what happens is you get this automatically like this. So you have to come manually change this into this.
Okay. Okay. So one more doubt about the complex data type, what you explained. So you told that we can assign the, I mean, for example, if I'm using the complex, 1 minute, I'll just give an example. If I'm using complex variable like this, then in my previous step, I'll have to assign a value for I as some 2. Okay. So when I'm running both this I equal to 2 and then x equal to 2i plus 10, it is not calculating 2 into 2 plus 10. It is just displaying the value. So is it how the complex data type will behave?
So it is like exactly. So you will have that x is one that is automatically a variable that has been created, right? So now when you are creating I as another variable, so it is not by default using that up over there because it's I over there is being used as a part of a complex number. But over here, what you're doing is you have defined that I as a different variable. So it is always advisable, like if you want something like this, right? Say suppose your requirement was this, that you had a variable j and this was 2 and x was equal to, say suppose 2 multiplied by j plus, say suppose 3. So avoid using I in that case.
Okay. So here
Now you
also
see,
for this, you, oh, okay, I got it. I can see it. Then what is the use of the complex data type? Because we are using complex data type to calculate like that only, right? So means if we are giving 2 into j plus 3, then it's arithmetic calculation, right?
so but when you are giving that I, right, if you're defining I as 2, okay, if you're defining I as 2, so that is no more a complex number. Complex number is something. So what is the value of I? What is the value of I?
2.
No, so that is not a complex number. Okay, when you are actually, when you work on the complex numbers, the value of I is square root of, it's a square root of -1. That is what that is what basically that I stands for, square root of -1. So when you are using this, so now this is not a complex number. X is not a complex number now. X is a normal numeric number.
Arithmetic calculation it is.
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Got it?
Okay.
Yep. So now what we'll do is, let us come back to this. Yeah, so I was over here on the working directories. So, working directory is something that is more, again, when you will be uploading the data from external files, you will get the more idea of it, and how that working directory is helpful. But for now, you just remember these two commands. One is getwd and another is setwd. Getwd is used to check the current working directory, and setwd is used to change our current working directory. That is what the difference between these two commands is. Okay, so let us move forward with this now. And what we'll do now is we will start working upon the data structures. We will try to understand what are different data structures that we have in the R. So let us start with this. The first type of data structure that we have is, that is the vectors. Second type that we have is, that is called as your matrices. Okay. The third type that we have is, that is called as your data frames. And then we have fourth type that is called as list. Okay, these are the different type of data structures that we have in the R. So there is a difference. So previously what we were doing was we were discussing data types. Okay, data types means what are the different types of data that you can have. Now we are discussing about data structure. Okay, in what structure can the data be saved? Okay, that is called as data structures over here. Okay, so let us get started with the very first one, that is the vectors. Okay, we will be starting with vectors over here. So what are vectors, right? Vectors are, it's a way of storing the data. Store the data, that is, store the data that is one dimensional and of same type and of same data type. Okay, see, up till now what we had done was, like, if you remember, if you just check out over here, what we have is basically, if you will see over here, these are basically, you know, in all the variables that we have used, right? All the variables that we have used over here, up till now we were just storing one single value everywhere, right? We were just storing one type of value across everywhere over here. We have not dealt with multiple value as of now. If you, and definitely, you know, into the world of data science, right, you will everywhere be using the multiple data. You will not be just playing around with one single value, right? You will be playing and you will be handling a lot of data over there. So how does R handles that data, and what different structures can R store that data for you? That is what we are trying to understand over here. The first format of that is, the first type for that is the vectors. So in the vector, what happens is, you can store the data that is one dimensional. One dimensional means that the data will be coming in one single row or one single column. That you understand, that is what we understand by the one dimensional. Okay, and the data can be of same type. Let us see that. Let us create our first vector. Let's say, suppose I want to save the student names. Okay, what I want to do is, I want to store the name of 5 students. So what I'll do is, I'll have to make a vector for that. I will have to create a vector. And how do we create a vector? We write C, and in the C, what we'll do is, we will save the name. Say, suppose I want to save Ram, you know, another person Sham, right? We have, say, suppose Sita, we have Gita, right? And say, suppose. So now what I've done is, I wanted to save 5 values. If you will just notice over here, what I've done is, I have saved 5 values over here. So Swati, you know, whenever we are using hash symbol, hash means that is a comment. Comment means a part of a code that will not be executed. So these are the things that we will not be executing. We are just putting it for our own reference, that what we are doing over there. Okay. So now this is the variable that I have created. So if I execute this, my variable has been created by the name of student.names. Okay. And you can see there are 5 values that are stored in it. 1, 2. If you just take a look over here, just take a look down on this. There are 5 values that have been stored. It says 1:5. That means we have stored 5 values in it. And it is written character. CHR, it is an abbreviation of character. So all the values that I have stored, they are all character. And as you know, we started before saying a vector is something that stores the data of same data type, right? You cannot have a data of variety of data types into it. I hope I'm making sense to all of you, right? You cannot save the data of multiple types in a vector. It can be all numeric, all character, all logical, all complex. That is what the nature of that is. Okay, so this is what we understand by a vector. Now all of you just create one more vector and we call it as student.ages. I would like to store the age of 5 students in this. Please create a vector for this. All of you quickly create a vector. I would like to store the age of 5 students. So C over here, you know, this stands for, C stands for combined. Okay, C stands for combined over here. So over here, whenever you will be working with multiple values, right? Whenever you will be working with multiple values, you have to define C. C stands for creating a vector, that you are creating a vector over here and you will be storing all this data in the form of a vector into this. Okay, so let us create a student.ages. So I want to store 5 ages. Say suppose first student of 21 years, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I have created another variable over here, that is student.ages, right? In this, I have stored the age of 5 students, right? 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. And if you will notice over here, this is all numeric. I hope you all are paying attention to that as well. Over here, the data was character, so we got CHR. Over here, the data is numeric, so we are getting num over here. Num means numeric. Okay. Now, you know what happened is, how does these numbers are saved? You see something written over here, 1:5, 1:5, right? We are using 1:5 over here. Now, 1:5 means that we have 5 numbers. Starting from 1, we have 5 numbers over here, right? That is something that is called as indexing as well. Indexing. What is indexing? Indexing means how does R recognizes the position of the number. So this is at the first position. This number is at second position. This number is at third position. This is at fourth position, and this is at fifth position. So this is called as indexing. Okay, so that means this is the first number, this is the second number, this is the third number. Likewise, you have all the numbers up till 5 over here. So these are 5 numbers, and same is the concept over here. This is the value at the first position, second position, third position, fourth position, and fifth position, right? So this is something that is called as indexing in the R. Now, where is it helpful, right? The question comes in, like, where is this indexing helpful? So, for example, I only want to see. So, first of all, you know, I go to that. First of all, what we will do is, let us just run this student.ages. So, it gives you all the 5 values. Okay. If I write student.names, it will give you all the 5 values, right? Can you all see? Ram, Sham, Sita, Geeta, Sam, right? I can see all the 5 names coming up over there. Okay, so please remember of this thing, you know, all your character data that comes in the double quotes and numeric data will come without quotes, right? If you will put, so if you will put that character, this, so okay, so let me ask you all of a question. So if you will put any of the number into this double quotes, okay, so what will happen is it will be converted into a character over here. So what is the difference between this and this? What is the difference between these two? Okay, first is number and second is character. Okay, so how will it impact, right? So if I use this number instead of this number, so how will I get any impact into my data? Yes, what will be that? Correct, right? So I can only use the numbers, right? I cannot do a calculation on this. I cannot multiply this number by 5, but I can multiply this by 5, correct? I can say 25 plus 5, that will give me a 30, but I cannot add 5 into this because this is a character number. This character is something into which cannot be used for any of your mathematical calculations. That is what the difference between these two is. Okay, now see the vector that we have all created. What we will do is we will see that how we can slice and dice this vector. Okay, if you say student dot names, open up the square bracket, and if you write 2 means it will just show you the second value. Second value in that names is Shah. I want to see the third value, that is student dot names. I want to see the value that is at third position, that is theta. So when you give that indexing number as well, what that does is it gives you the value that is there at that particular position. Okay. Okay, so now say suppose I want to see the values. I want to see these three values in the output. Okay, right now I'm just looking at the one value at each time, right? I want to see what is the value at second position, what is the value at the third position. Now I want to see what is the value that is there at the second, third, and fourth position. So how will I do it? I will say student.names. Okay, I will say 2:4. That is, starting from the second position, I want to see the values up till fourth position, 2 to 4. So that means 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that gives you 2, 3, and 4. Sham, Sita, Gita. Now, likewise, now what I want to do is, say suppose I want to see the values that are your at the second position, fourth position, and fifth position, right? I want to extract the values second, fourth, and fifth. So how will I specify that? So I will say C 2, 4, 5. So this is Sham, Gita, and Sam, right? So now this is giving me the values that are at the second, fourth, and fifth position. Okay, so Sushma, you know the question that I mentioned over here, how to connect both strings, I mean names and age, right? So first thing is name is not, the age is not a string, okay? Age is a numeric data. So what will happen is if you will combine the data of numeric and character, everything will be changed into a character format, okay? That is first thing that you have to understand. And if you want to combine both of them, I'll just tell you how to combine it. It is simple thing. You just have to use C and write both the names over there. So class, any questions up till here? Anyone? No, okay, Nandini is good. Okay. See, now what we'll do is, say suppose this age that we created, right? We created a variable that was student.age. Student.age. So where is this vector useful? Say suppose I want to find the mean of this. Okay, I want to find the average age. Okay, average age. So there is a function that is mean. Okay, if I will say mean of this variable, this is something that will give me the average value. I am finding the mean of this. Okay, can I find the mean of names? Can I find the mean of names? No, right? We cannot. So Harmeet, you know, we are using double brackets. These are used as the indexing. Say, for example, you want to see what is the value at the second position or the third position. So if you want to pick up that particular value, we use the square brackets over there. So this is just something like for indexing. Okay. Now what I'll do over here is so I can use this variable to find the mean. Similarly, you have a function that is sum. If you will say I want to find the sum of student.ages, it will give you sum of all the values, that is 115. Okay, that is called as mean, and this is a quick calculation on this sum over here. Now say suppose, like the question that was asked by Sushma, like, you know, there are two variables that we have created. One is student.ages and another is student.names. What if I combine these two variables together and create a new vector? Okay, let us create a new vector. Let us call it as VEC2. In this, what I want to do is I want to combine this and this. Okay, so how will I do it? It's very simple. I just have to write C, the variable first variable, that is student.ages, and then student.names. names. I just have to give their names. The moment I will give their names and I will execute it, your vector 3 will be created. Oh, sorry, vector 2 is created, right? This vector is created, and let us see the values and let us see the output. How this looks like. You can see 21, 22, 23, all these numbers are converted into character, and you have got all the values over here combined. So you have 10 values in it, 5 plus 5, 10, and you can see its data type is character. Okay, class? Okay, perfect. So now this is what, and this is how we actually make use of the vector. So vector is something when we use, or we have to combine the data of one single type. Yeah, right, Prasanna. Basically, what happens is because you had some data that was numeric and another was character. So definitely it cannot convert character into numbers. So it converted numbers into characters over there. So that is what default that happens over there. Okay. So I think class will take a quick short break over here, right? So we always take a break, and let us all start after a quick short break. Okay. So let's start around 10:15. Okay. Okay, hey, hi all. So I hope we can start now. You all are back from the break. Okay, so Price, you are saying you're getting some error in calculating the mean. Right, so let's take a look at it. So can you share your code with me on the chat? What is the code that you have written?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So what I have written is student name. Like you used stu.age. What I have used is student age. So I just wrote mean and in the bracket student age, and then press Control plus Enter. But what I am getting is
So what
error
is,
in some student age, invalid type character of argument.
all right. So what has happened is I think the age that you have created is this numeric, the variable that you have created. Can you see over there, like if you see over here in place of student.ages, I have written coming num over there. What do you see coming over there in your case? Over here, I can see num negative.
No. I'm seeing characters. Right. Okay. So I guess that's the problem.
So you can, yeah, because, right. So since we cannot find the average of the character data, so you're getting that error.
Okay. So what I have and let me just this is what I have written. Sorry. This is what I have.
So this is correct. I mean, there's no problem in this. It will create a number only if I run this up. So say student age. So we'll check this out. So I'm getting a number format only. So maybe
But I'm getting a character format.
Can you run it again? Just run this one more time.
Okay.
This command.
Yes. Now I've gotten the command.
So it's looking fine, right? Now if you will find the mean also, it will give you the answer.
Yes, it is giving me. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Sure. So Bhavani, you are saying, looks like my RStudio is not working. Whatever I type, screen is not displaying in the. So can you share your screen, Bhavani? I'll just help you out with that. So are you executing the commands? You have to press Control plus Enter. Press Control plus Enter. You see now you are getting that on the right hand side. I think you were not executing the commands. That was the problem that you were having. So can you make me the presenter, please? So that I can share my screen again. Just go to the participants and right click against my name and say make trainer.
Sorry, how do I stop sharing?
So go to the list of participants.
Okay.
So do you see Amit trainer being written over there?
Yes.
Right click on that. Yeah. Okay.
Amit, one more question I have. All this STU dot the abbreviation of the student, all this thing, it is not defined. For example, if I want to give an employer ID or employer name, whatever it is, so I can give it as EMP. So is that different?
You can use anything. You can use anything as a variable name. You can create EID. If you want to create employee ID, you can create that, and you can save the values into that, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm storing the employee ID. So now I've got that employee ID over here. So you can give any name. So technically, you should always try to make sure that you give a name that is recognizable, like what kind of a data you are trying to store in that.
Is there any directory where it is stored? What does this open phrase exactly over here? The command, whatever you use, what does it execute?
Sorry?
No, you have like open inverted. As you told, if we write the commands, then we have to write it in open inverted. If we write numerical, it can be separated with commas. All these things, is there anywhere like written? What to tell?
So yeah, you will get that the book that you will be getting on the slides also over there. You will find that up.
Okay, anywhere here in this RStudio, like help we have the free text to search, right? Like that, we don't have anywhere over here to show what the symbol represents.
These are something like ground rules. Okay, so you will not find much on the ground rules. So like if you are saving something character format, that will always come in the double quotes. Like I have given the names and all that were coming in the double quotes. Okay, and if you are saving something numeric, it will come without quotes.
Okay. Yeah, this is simple, but as we go on, any other symbols or any other commands, if we
What I will advise is, it is always a good practice that you should take some notes, right? You can keep a notepad and you can write down your notes over there. If you think that is something, see, although I always keep on writing like as a part of a comment over there, right? Like what I'm trying to do over there. Because everything is written over here. The same way, what you can do is you can make some quick notes as well. So that will be very helpful instead of going to the complete book. Yeah, so that is one thing that I can recommend all of you to please make notes. They are always a good practice whenever you are trying to learn something new. Okay, and in case of any trouble, so definitely do not worry. So you can just ask me.
Would you please recommend any book also for the good practice?
Book. So I can give you a book. So in fact, I'll share a link with you right now. Over there, a Google Drive link from where you can download some assignments also, and you will find a book also, a very good book, which you can use for enhancing your R skills. Okay, I'll do that. In the last of the session, I'll be doing that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now, see, we have learned very basic stuff about the vector. See now, wherever you have to now, please mark this something very, very important. Now, wherever you will have a requirement to use multiple values, okay, wherever there will be a requirement to use the multiple values, you will always use it in the format of vector. You will have to use C with that. Okay, do not worry. I'm just telling you right now, but the next thing that I'll be doing now over there, you will get this thing more, you will be able to understand the thing in this better format, right? Multiple values. So wherever you have to call multiple values, you will have to use C. Like for example, when I was using this student dot names, okay, I said that I wanted to see what is the value that is coming at first position, third position, and fifth position. So what I've done is I have mentioned C over here because I am passing multiple values in this, and I want to see first, third, and fifth value. So I can see Ram, Sita, and Sam over here. Or if the numbers are in sequence, right? If the numbers, the value that you want to see in the sequence, say suppose I say 2:4, so this automatically takes it in the format of a vector. Okay, this is something that is called as sequence. Okay, what do I mean by sequence? So let us see that. So we have a function also for that. Sequence means when you want to generate something in the form of a sequence. Say for example, I want to generate the numbers from 1:10. So I will say sequence 1:10. So it prints that 1:10 the numbers for me. If I say sequence 5 comma 50, comma 5. So please understand this. What I've done is I am saying my sequence to start from 5. It should end up till 50, and the values should increment by 5. The values should be incremented by 5. See, now it gives you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 up till 50 over here. So this is something that is called as a sequence over here. Okay, so you can make use of a sequence when if you want to generate something in the form of sequence number. There are functions like if you write letters. See, if you will run letter, it will give you ABCD up till Z over here. If you write this, it will give you in the uppercase from A to Z. So these are quick functions to be used if wherever you think that they can make your work easy. If you're trying to make some random data and also you can use this functions over there. Okay. Now coming back to the next thing over here, what we will be doing is we will be exploring something new, that is the matrices. Okay. So where have you all seen a matrix? Where have you all seen a matrix? Ramesh, I'll just come back to your point, the working directories. Just park that question. So as of now, we will not be requiring the use of working directories, but once we will start using it, I'll be explaining this thing in a lot more detail. So do not worry on that part. Okay. Matrix, right? So in the school, you all would have studied about, right, that you used to create a matrix over there. I hope just to recollect all those things. We used to have something like this, right? Over there, we used to create a matrix like this, rows and columns. Correct, right? So this is, what is this? First of all, this is a two-dimensional data. Okay, this is a two-dimensional data that we are talking about because we have some rows and we have some columns over here. So how many rows and how many columns do I have in this? How many rows and how many columns? No, this is not 5 into 5, right? 5 into 5 means 5 rows and 5 columns. So we have 2 columns and 5 rows, right? So this is, these are called as rows. These are called as rows. So I have 5 rows and 2 columns. Okay, this is what we have as a data over here, right? Now, in the matrix also, right? In the matrix that you create, you can have the data of same type only. You cannot store the data which is some part is number and some part is character. No, you cannot do that over here as well. Coffee. Okay. So what you will see is you cannot save the data in the format of a different data type over here as well. So let us see how do we create a matrix in the R. Okay, so all of you, let's start. Let's create a variable in which I will be storing a matrix. Okay, in order to create a matrix, we have a function that is available with us, that is matrix. Okay, now in this matrix, if you see, it gives you the complete definition that first you define the data, number of row and number of columns are by default 1 and by row equals to false. Okay, what do we mean by row equal to false, number of row equal to 1, number of column equal to 1? We will just understand this part. Let us create a matrix over here. So just pass the number from 1 is to 25. Okay, we will create a matrix where I want to store the numbers from 1 is to 25 over here. Let us create it. So you can see a variable has been created, mat, and this comes in a little different way. If you will have noticed, it is coming in the form of a data, right? When we created vector was coming as a part of values, but when I'm creating a matrix, it is coming in the form of a data now, and it is saying it is integer format where we have 1 is to 25 comma 1. I'll just explain you what this is, but first before that, let us check this out, how this output looks like. Okay, let us run this and let us see the output. So this is how the output looks like over here now. Okay, all of you please take a look at this output now. Let me know if you are all able to create it. Okay, so Nandini, correct. So this is 1:25, right? I have 25 rows that I can see in this, and I just have one column in this. All the data is coming in one column, and I can see 25 rows are created in this. Okay. Now in the vector, what we were having one-dimensional data, right? We didn't had row and column concept over there, but this row and column concept is available in this matrix now. Now slowly we are moving towards the structure of data where in the real scenario, the way we have the data with us. Now what I would like to do is this mat that I have created. So by default, right, when I was typing this matrix, did you when we write this function, you say we got this something coming as number of row equal to 1 and number of column equal to 1. So because I passed 25 values, so number of rows became 25, number of column was still 1 over here. Now what I will do is I will write mat. Okay, I'll again create a matrix over here. Now I will say 1:25. Now in this, I will define that I want n row stands for number of rows. I want 5 rows in it. Right now, while creating this matrix, I am defining that how many rows do I want to have. So let us run this. Mat is created, and let us check out the output. So if you see now, so if since I had 25 numbers with me and I have defined 5 rows, so automatically I get 5 columns over here in the output. Okay. See, because matrix is something that will automatically be adjusted. Can I create a matrix with 25 numbers having 6 rows in it? Can I create a matrix having 1 to 25 and can I define the number of rows as 6 in this? No, yes, correct. Because if I define number of rows as 6, so how will it adjust those 25 numbers, right? That is what the problem that will happen. So likewise, the way I have defined number of rows, I could have also defined number of columns. I could have said n col equal to, say, suppose 25. Now let us see the output. So now I'm getting 25 numbers over here, 1, 2, 3, up till 25. So now I have got 1 row and 25 columns in this. Class, I hope I'm making sense to all of you, what I'm doing as of now. Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll keep the matrix as number of column equal to 5 only for now, because that is much more useful. As I can see, I will get 5 rows and 5 columns. Okay. Now the next thing is I had 25 numbers with me, right? 1 to 25. Okay. Now when we have 25 numbers with us, so just take a look at it, right? Just take a look at it. In this matrix, the numbers that I have inputted, right? They are going row wise, sorry, column wise, right? 1, if you see the numbers that I had mentioned, they were going like this. 1, 2, like this. You can see all the data going into it like this over there. First, all the 5 numbers, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is how the data is going. Now, what if I wanted to use the data in this format? right? That the numbers should go like this: 1, then 2 over here, then 3 over here, 4 and 5, then 6, then 7, then 8. This is how I want the numbers to be inputted into the matrix, not by column, but by row. So what I will do in that case is I will define something as by row equals to true. Okay, by row means that the numbers should come into that matrix row wise. So let us run this and let us now see the output. Can we all see now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? The numbers are now being entered over here, not by column but by row over here. Oh, you please clear this. I'll just wait for all of you for a minute.
Hello. Yeah, hi, Amit.
Hello, Nandini.
Yeah, so can you give me an example where we will be implementing this metrics, like a real-time example in the data science or any other places?
See, this is something that so we will just be doing that question over here. Just park that up. We'll just be doing a quick question over here where we will be using this matrix right now.
Okay.
So yes, I mean, if you will technically see over here, if you see in the previous matrix that we created, right? We created 2 matrices over here. In the previous matrix, the numbers were coming like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in this, if you see, the numbers are coming like this. So that is the change that we have done. By row equals to true. Number of rows are same, number of columns are same, but the values that we are entering, that is something that we have changed. That now we want to insert the values by row. Okay. Okay, so now what we'll do over here is we will see certain functions, that can be used actually on that vector that you, on the matrix that you will have created. Now let us see that. Say suppose what I want to do is, this is the matrix that I have created. What I want to do is, first of all, we will learn something that is slice and dice of the data. What do I mean by slice and dice of the data is, you want to extract a part of the data from there. Okay, so Satyaj, I mean, you can define the rows and columns, but if you just define the rows, automatically columns are defined by default, right? Or if you define columns, automatically the rows are defined by default. So if you want to define it, you can do that. But if you will not do that, still, it will be kind of automatically picked up by the R over here. Okay, so now what we do is, like when you create this matrix, so there in the matrix what we have is, we have the concept of R comma C, that is row and column. Okay, like in the vector what we were doing was, when we were using the vectors, we were defining only one thing, right? That what is the index number of that value that I want. Okay, that is what we were doing. But when you have to pick up a value from a matrix, you have to define R and C both. So let us see that. This is a map, okay, that we have created. I want to see the value which is coming at 3rd row and 5th column. Okay, I want to see that value that is coming at the 3rd row and 5th column. What will be that value? What is the output that I should expect? 15, right? So if I'll run this, so I should get 15 in the output. So I can see 15 is coming. Perfect. Now, what I want to do is, say suppose I want to extract the value which is coming in, say suppose 4th row, 4th column. So I will say 4, 4, it gives me 19. Okay, that is 4th row, 4th column, that is this. The next thing that we would like to see over here is, now I want to see the values that are coming in this range. Let me highlight that up. I want to see these values. I want to see this set of values. So how will I see it? Okay, now this is the map that I have. What I want to do is, I want to capture the data of how many rows, which all rows do I want to capture? I want to capture the row number 3, 4 and 5. So I will say C. I want the row numbers as 3, 4, 5, and then I'll define my columns. What are the column numbers? Column numbers are 4 and 5. So I will say C 4, 5. If you see now, I have got this as an output. It's the same thing that I wanted to see. Right, class? Okay. Anyone, any doubts up till here? Okay, Sakshi, it's not clear to you. No worries. Let us do it again. See, what I wanted was, I wanted to extract this as an output that is highlighted in the yellow line over here, right? So in the matrix, what we do is first we define row and then we define the columns. So how many rows do I want? I want the row number 3, row number 4, row number 5, right? So what I've done is, first of all, I have defined the row numbers. I want to have C 3, 4, 5. Then what are the column numbers? Column numbers are 4 and 5. So I'm putting comma, column 4 and 5 in this. Okay. Perfect. So now all of you, just for a practice purpose, now extract this part of the data. This part of data you all have to extract. Just write a matrix and share your outputs over here in the chat window. I mean, not the outputs, basically the codes. The codes that you would have written, please share that in the window over here in the chat window. Okay, this is what we want to achieve in this. Hello, yeah, Bhavani, tell me please.
Amit, understanding is not a problem. I understood, but the problem is I'm unable to execute it. Even after entering control, enter or run, it's not getting executed.
Let me, so right, so Nandini, you have done it right, and Sahil, so Sahil, okay, so you were in the previous batch, right? Well, so you have moved over here into this. Oh, nice. I think you will not be open up for that classroom sessions, I guess. Right? So because for that batch that you were a part of, so they are having their classroom sessions these days. So that will start at 12. So I can see most of you have done it right. See, Bhavani, maybe what I feel is that you might be not be executing the command, right? So what you have to do is, just for now, do one thing. First, select that command, whichever you want to execute, and click on run. Just do this part. Any line of code that we are writing, you have to select it and run it. Do this, and let me know if you're getting the outputs and all after that. Okay, so all of you have, most of you have done it. Okay, so anyone having trouble in this? you are still stuck, so let me just make you the presenter. You can share your screen. Let me help you out with this. Okay, so you can share your screen. Right, so matrix is created, right? So you will not see the output. See, when you are creating mat, so you can see on the right hand side, data mat is created. Okay. Now type mat, write mat, and now execute the command. Press escape, press escape. Now execute it, control enter. You see it? Now you're getting the data over here. See, output will come when you.
Why is that mat again?
Because in the first command that you have written over there, you have done the assignment. That you want to create a variable, and in that you want to save that matrix over there. And when you are writing that mat again, you are just printing that out. Okay. All right, well, you can do that way also. You can write 1:5, or you can write 1,2,3. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Uma, your output is not correct. So Uma, what you have shared is you are writing 4,5, right? The output that we wanted was row number 1 and 2, right? These are the row 1 and 2. This is what we want, and column number 4 and 5. So first you give the row numbers and then you give the column numbers. So you have given 4,5. So you will get this as an output. Your output would be coming this. Okay. So what you do is first we give the row numbers. So what are the row numbers? I want the row number 1, 2, and columns that I want are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This is what I want to achieve. Okay, so what you had written was you had just written the code over there.
So if you give the columns, then it will automatically execute all the columns.
Sorry?
If you don't write say in bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you leave as it is after putting a comma, then it will execute all the columns.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So Uma, again, you have shared it wrong. I mean, if you can see it, basically the mat that we are creating over here is, see, first of all, you define the row numbers. I want the row 1 and 2, right? So I have to be very much comfortable in understanding that first. Row comma, that is first and second. Then I define the column numbers. Columns I want all. 1 also, 2 also, 3 also, 4 also, 5 also, right? That is how you will define that. 1 comma, 2 comma, and you can write it like this also or like this also. Okay, so Bhuvi, you have shared something. You are getting an error. Mat bio equals to true. Let me just copy and paste your code. Let's see what's the problem in there. So see, you have created this matrix, so that is perfectly right. And then you are saying from the mat, it's working. I mean, I can see the output. I've just copied and pasted your code only. I have not changed anything. I think the problem that has happened with you is you have not executed this command. You have not executed the command. That is why you are getting an error that object mat not found. First of all, execute that command. Okay. When when you are in this line, it will only execute that line. It will not execute from the starting. Okay, just write this code and create that matrix. Okay, so Lovepreet, in your case, your matrix would have been created. Can you see on the right hand side a mat? Can you see over here the mat? Yes, Lovepreet. So please execute that command, the command that you have written. Right, Bhavani, you got it. So Lovepreet is still stuck. Let me just help Lovepreet over here. So you have to write it mat. Okay, you have written 1:25. Execute that command, right? Once you execute it, so you have to store that into a variable as well. So you will get it like this. So mat matrix 1:25. Just execute that command and you should be able to see that mat on the right hand side. Please do it and let me know. Just run this command. Right, Umadadi, that is correct. Perfectly fine. Now you get the answer.
What's by row T? You have written by row T, right? So
Sorry?
can you just explain it? Like you have written matrix 1:25 and colon is equal to 5. After that you wrote like by row T. So what's that row T?
So T stands for true. By row equals to true. That you want to insert the values row wise. Okay. So you are instructing R that you want to insert the values row wise, not column wise. So Lovepreet, can you share your screen? Let me just help you out with this quickly. So please share your screen. Okay, can you maximize this screen, please? Okay, go to the line of mat. Go to the line of mat. Mat where you written mat arrow matrix. Go to that line, please. The line number 5. Now click on run command. Click on the run. See it now? So actually you are not executing the command, right? So when you have written that up, so you didn't execute that command. So first of all, you have to create the matrix. And now if you will run this mat command where you have written line number 7, if you will go into that line number 7, now click on run, click on run. Just click on run. Yeah, you don't have to go to the last. So you can see all the numbers are coming from 1 to 25. Okay. Please click on the participants. Click on participants to make me the presenter again. Yeah. So no, not this, not this. Go down. Amit trainer. You will find this Amit trainer over there. No. Not this. Amit trainer. Yep. This one. Thank you. Okay, so here we are now. So what we'll do is now, like we have created this matrix over here. Now I hit mat. Okay. Say suppose I just go in and the first row and all the columns. Okay, this is the matrix that we have. This is the matrix that I have, mat. I just want to see this in the output. So how can I do it? I will say mat 1 comma. If I say 1 comma, that means first row, all the columns. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now, similarly, if you take mat, I say C 2, 3 and comma. That would mean all the data from row number 2 and 3. So I get all the data of row 2 and 3 over here. Okay. Similarly, if I say mat, I want all the rows and I want to see the column 1, 2. So I'll get all the rows and column 1 and 2. See, I get 5 rows and column 1 and 2. Okay. So when you leave that after the comma or before the comma is blank, now R understands that you want to pick up all the rows or all the columns. Okay. Yes, you can do that. I mean, you have a function that is length, right? So you can use this length of a vectors. I will use a length of student.age gives you 5, right? $25, correct? So length is a function that you can use in order to find the total number of values in a matrix or a vector. Okay, so now we will do a small short activity over here. Okay, so what we'll do now is we will be doing a small activity. What we'll do is we will create a small matrix over here. Okay, what I want to do is I want to create a small matrix over here. So say suppose I have the stock prices. I have the stock prices of 2 companies. Say suppose we have the stock prices of let us assume we have Paytm. Okay, we have a stock price of Paytm and say suppose Flipkart. Okay, and what was the stock price on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? So suppose Paytm stock price was 201 on Monday, then 210 on Tuesday. Say suppose 190, 220, 230. Similarly, I have the stock prices of Flipkart. So suppose Flipkart was at 190, 191, 195, 200, and say suppose 220. Now these are the stock prices that I have of 2 of the companies with me. What I would like to do is I would like to store this data in the form of a matrix. Okay, I would like to store this data in the form of a matrix over here. So how we will achieve that? Okay, let us see that. So are you all clear on the question? What do we want to achieve? I want to create a matrix which is having 2 rows, 5 columns, and these are the stock prices. Okay, I'm sharing these numbers with you over the chat as well, so that you all can create the same numbers. So that once we create, so all the outputs that we should see, we should be all on the same page. So I'll just share these numbers with you on the chat. Now what I'll do is let us see how we can create this the matrix in the R. So first of all, I'll create a vector by the name of ATM. Okay, what are the numbers that I have? I have the numbers that are these. I can copy them up and I can write it like this. So this is the Paytm vector. Similarly, I'll create a Flipkart. The Flipkart, what do I have is We have these numbers with us. Okay, so all of you please create these two vectors. Okay, now let us create these two vectors first. I can keep on sharing these codes on the chat as well, so that if anyone is little struggling behind, so that they can use that up. Anyway, I'll be coming to that days, how we will use the days and all. So I'll be coming to that part. Okay. Now what I will do is, let me create a vector that is prices. In the prices, what I will do is, I will store the value of Paytm and Flipkart. Okay, so I have created third variable with me, that is prices. So I can see all the 10 values are coming in one dimension over here. One dimensional way I can see all the values. Are we all done? Do we all have this vector with us up till here? Okay. So can you all now convert this new vector that I have created in the form of a matrix? Can you please convert this in the form of a matrix? So what I will do is, I will be creating my matrix. I will call it as prices.mat, just for a representation. I will use matrix. What will be my input data? What will be my data? Data will be prices, right? How many rows do I want? 2. So can I define that? N row equals to 2. Right, so again, so you have defined that number of row and column both. So since we have 10 values, if I automatically put define as row as 2, automatically the columns will be defined as 5. Correct. Do I need to add some more thing into it? If I'll enter this, let us see how this matrix look like. So 201, 190, 230, 191, 200. So are we getting it in the correct format? Right, Raghuram. So we need to add that command of by row equals to true as well, right? So what I will do is, I will add by row equals to true. Perfect. Right. So now let us see the output. Now this is what we were expecting to see, which is matching with our Excel also that we had created. Okay. Perfect. So I'll share this code with you all on the chat as well, so that if you have some doubts on it, you can just use this up. Swati, it's showing error to me for prices to combine. Have you used that C symbol over there? Please ensure that, Swati, if please make sure the inside these the names that you are defining, they are in the correct order, because R is case sensitive. So only you are saying we can also use
Amit, my question is, why are we using prices dot mat? So is it like a variable accepts mat, sorry, dot, or we are combining both? Means we are converting that vector into matrices. We are using that because when I tried without prices dot mat, only mat, it is working.
it will work. See, it will work. So it is just mat. You write either a mat or you write prices dot mat. It is the same thing. It is the name of the variable, right? So just for that simplicity, because over here I create a vector. So just to differentiate, so I have just written a mat over here so that you all can understand that now I'm converting this into the form of matrix over here. So just for that nomenclature, I have.
Okay, it's just a dot is just a variable here. I mean, just a letter here.
That's a letter, right? That's a letter.
Okay.
Okay, so I see, Diksha, you're not able to get this. So Narendra, you are saying, see, all of you, please make sure that you run this command, right? Many of the places that I'm seeing is that you're not executing that command. Please execute this command, and you can always keep on checking any of the variable that you will create. You will see those variables over here, right? Like when I create prices, I can see this prices coming over here. At each step, please ensure that you have that variable created. Okay, now when I create prices.mat, so I can see that over here. This is the prices.mat that I have created. So Narendra, for you, it is just that it is the prices not created.
Yes, Amit.
Is it now working?
Now it is working. I have executed the line.
Right. Okay. So now, yeah, so Diksha, you have also got it correct, right? So now all of you have it correct. Anyone still having this, any error up till here? Now what we'll do is my matrix is created, right? But still it is not in that same order. See, Flipkart F has to be small, right? So you have created a Lovepreet, you have created a variable Flipkart with small f. Now you're writing the Flipkart with capital F. So that is what I see, that Flipkart not found, what you are saying over here. Let me take a look at it. So I think you have not executed the command of Flipkart, right? Please check. Do you see the variable of Flipkart over here? Please check that out. Do you see Flipkart on the right hand side? If you do not see, that means you have not executed the line where you have written Flipkart over there. Okay, that is the problem. That is why you are not able to getting that Flipkart. Okay. So now if we will take a look at this matrix, right? If we take a look at this matrix, right now it is still not in the complete exact format the way we wanted to achieve it, right? I can see Paytm, Flipkart, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these are still missing from here. So what we can do is we can actually define row names and column names. Okay, we can define the row names and column names. So how do we do it? So we have a function for that, that is row names. Okay, you will type row names, it will give you a function that you want to define row names for a matrix. Okay, so what we'll now do is I am to define the row names for prices.mat. And what are the row names that I want to give? What will be my row names? My row names will be Paytm and Flipkart. Right? So these are the two row names that I want to give. So instead of getting 1 comma and 2 comma, what I want to achieve is I want to have these to be coming as row names over here. So let us execute it and check out our metrics. So I have got that Paytm and Flipkart coming over there. So instead of index number, what I have done is I have created the two matrices, two row names, Paytm and Flipkart. Yes, Raghu, you can create a matrix with null values as well. You can do that. Okay, in a similar fashion, what we will do is we will create column names. If you write a function that is column names, so they're not coming. Call names. It's not column, it is call names. Call names for my matrix that is prices.mat. I want to give the column names as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and lastly the Friday. Okay, and let us check now our matrix. How does it look? So now we have got the perfect look, the what that we were looking out for. Okay, anyone who is not able to understand the logic, syntax, anything, feel free to throw your question over here. Okay, do not hesitate to ask anything. If you're not able to grab any part of it, please let me know right away. Are we all good? Okay. See, now a matrix has been created. Okay, now the matrix is created. Now what I will do is I will show you some functions on this. We will explore some functions on this. First function that we will see over here is that is the function that we will use over here is that is dim function. What is this dim function does? Dim is a function that gives us how many rows and columns are there in a matrix. If I say dim prices mat, it will give you, it has 2 rows and 5 columns. So Baldev, what is the error that you are getting? Can you please share your code and error over here on the chat? So your variable is not created. Prices.mat is not created. That is what that error is. Please check that your variable is created for that. Sure, Baldev, you can share your screen and just make the presenter.
Are you
Your
able to my
matrix is
screen?
not created, na? Correct. Yeah, I can see your screen, Baldev. So your this vector, this matrix is not created. Prices.mat. Please run that
Actually,
command.
I'm getting error this variable.
See, what you are doing is, let me just take a look. Paytm, you have it. Flipkart, you have it. Okay. So your no, so that is. See, one thing is that Paytm and Flipkart will not come in the codes, because what you are doing is you are combining the two variables right now. Okay, so the variable names do not come in the double quotes. And Paytm E will be in capital and F will be in capital. Hello?
Is this correct now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it is correct now.
Yeah, now it is correct. Now execute it.
Now getting same.
Yeah, just select this line. Select this line and then press Control Enter. Yeah. Now run this. Okay. Now your price is created. So you run this and see it. Now the next line, yes. Now run this. Buy row, Y is missing. In that buy row, Y is missing.
Okay.
Execute it. Created.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Thank you, Amit.
No, just make me the presenter. Right click on my name.
Which option?
So Amit Trainer, don't make Trainer 17. Okay. Click on Amit Trainer over there.
Hello, Amit.
Yes.
I'm facing one issue. Can I just show you that? Like,
Just
as
give me
a,
a minute.
yeah, please make me presenter on Diksha web. Yeah.
I'm
Baldev, are you
unable
able
to click
to,
on. Yeah, I'm showing your name. Right click, then hit, but not working
make
now.
no see you see at the bottom go to meeting, click on that go to meeting icon at the bottom.
First test.
Class, just give me a moment. I think you know he dropped off. I'll have to So now what I'll be doing is, can you please tell me what's the error that you're getting? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell me what is the error that you're getting? Please share your code on the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just copy it. I'm getting the values different from the one which I have mentioned in like. Just a second. I'm getting these values in columns and rows. However, I've added different values for Paytm and for Flipkart.
You have not used this command by row equals to true.
Sorry?
You have not mentioned this command in your matrix by row equals to true. That is why you are getting.
Yeah, I have mentioned that command in my matrix that n row equals to true and by row equals to true.
No, because what I see is that is the only problem. Don't worry, I mean, you can run it again. Just run this part of the code again, create this Paytm and Flipkart one more time, and then create, so just run this part of the code completely again. You will get it in the same way.
Okay, let me just try it once. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. See what I've done is, so are you all able to get this price names, row names? So in the end, you wrote price or map like this over here. Is this what you're mentioning? See, this is what we do it if you want to see Prerit, if you want to see the output, right? When you are doing over here, what you're doing is you're assigning the values. Okay, I'm assigning the value that this should be the row names. Then when I'm writing this price or mat over here, it gives me the output over here like this. Okay, this gives me the output, like what is the output that I'll get once this change has been implemented. Okay. Right. Now what I'll do over here is, now my matrix is created. Now there are some functions that I was telling you. One was dim. What dim does is it gives you the rows and column in that matrix. First is the row number, second is the column number. Okay, this is the row and column. Now similarly, you have a function that you can use on this, that is the row sum. If you will use, you have a function that is row sums. Okay, please take care of this. What this row sums does is, it will give you the sum of each row, sum of this row and sum of this row. You will get the sum of two rows. So if I say row sums prices dot mat, it will give you the sum of Paytm and Flipkart. It is adding the numbers row by row. Okay. Similarly, if you want to find the sum of column, so you can use the sum all sums, that is prices dot mat, and it will give you the column sum. It will add the numbers column by column. 190 plus 201, that gives you 290, 391, right? So you get 391 and likewise 391, 401. So columns are being added. So really the dim, what this does is, it gives you the rows and columns in the matrix. So we have 2 rows and 5 columns. So that is what this function is giving me. 2 rows, 5 columns. Okay. Now similarly, you have a formula that is row means. If you will use row means, instead of giving you the row, instead of giving you the total, what this will do is this will give you a mean value. If I say row means of prices dot mat, it gives you the row mean, and similarly, if you will use col means, it will give you the column average. Okay, are you all clear on this? Perfect. Okay, now what we will be doing is, in this matrix that we created, what I want to do is, I want to add the stock prices of Amazon as well. I want to add what is the stock price of Amazon. Say suppose Amazon stock price was 190, 220, no 225, 230, 250. Now this was the stock price of Amazon on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What I would like to do is I would like to insert this row of data as well into my matrix. So how will I do it? Okay. So if I have to achieve this, first of all, what will be my first step? I will create my vector. I will create my vector over here, Amazon C, and let me copy these values. Okay, so I'll create this vector over here and I will execute it. So my Amazon vector has been created. All of you, do you have all created the Amazon vector? All right. Right. So now what I need to do is I want to insert this as a new row into my matrix that is already there. I already have a matrix with me. I just want to insert a row into it. So for doing that, what we have is we have 2 type of functions that we use. One is rbind and another is cbind. Okay. So rbind is something that we use to insert a row, and cbind is something that we use to insert a column. So now what I do is I had my matrix with me that was prices.mat. What do I want to do is I want to insert a row. So I will say rbind. Okay, I will say rbind to my already existing matrix that I have. To this, I want to insert Amazon. So what I'm doing is I'm mentioning first my matrix that is already there. then I'm giving the name of that vector which I want to insert as a row. Okay. And I have given the same name. So what it will do is it will override the existing one. It will override the existing one and you will get a new matrix with 3 rows and 5 columns. Let us check this out. Prices.mat. I've got the Amazon as well. So Pooja, now when you combine the rows, so over there it automatically picks up that vector name. So in that case, it automatically picks up that vector name because it was one row, so it did that automatically. So Nandini, you do not have any function to delete a row. If you have to delete a row, you will have to use the concept of slicing and dicing. With the help of that, you will be able to delete a row. Okay, now what I want to do is, this is a vector that I have created. Okay, now all of you add a column which should show me the average of 3 companies. Okay, you all have to add a column which should give me what was the average of the 3 companies, right? So my output should come like this, that average, and I should get the average price over here. So this is what I want to achieve as a new column to be added. Okay, please do this. Add a column with the average values. So I do not want to, so Bobby, I do not want to see it as a separate data. I want to add these numbers in the matrix itself. So how will I achieve it? First of all, what I'll do is I will create a column of average, right? I will create a column of average where I will say I want to find the call means, the row means, right? So right, Subhagran, you have shared it correct. So that is row means. I will find the row means. If I'll put that up, I'll insert that value. I want to find the row means of prices.mat, right? So this gives me the average value. Okay. Now if I'll check this out, the average, this is the average values that I have got: 210, 199.2 and 223.0. Now what I will do is I will simply update my prices.mat with my function, that is cbind. In the cbind, what I want to do is I want to use my already existing matrix and I want to add a column of average into it. So there we get. So I can see the average values and everything coming up over here. Perfect, right? So I think most of you have done it correct. So are we all good on this? Anyone, any doubts up till here? Okay. Now, you know what I would like to do, all of you to do is, I would like to now update and I would like to now create a new matrix over here. Okay, what I would like to do is I would like to create a new matrix from the existing one only, right? You do not have to create something new. But in that, I just want to keep the data of all these three up to this data only. I want to achieve this as an output. I just got a requirement that my boss wants to see the data of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for all the three companies. So I just want to share this data. So how will I extract? How will I kind of create a new matrix? And you have to call a new matrix as, just call it as prices dot Monday dot Wednesday. This is a new matrix that you have to create. The name of that has to be prices dot Monday dot Wednesday. Please achieve this. Anyone who has done this, please share your outputs. Okay, perfect. So Sahil, Sakshi, Subhakran, you got it right. Subhakran, no, you have something not correct. You have mentioned as Matt. No, yours is having some the uh, the error in it. No, no. Okay, yours is correct. Right. We are getting the same thing. Okay, you have mentioned all the columns over there. Right. I just thought. No, yours is correct. Okay. So how will I do it? See, suppose this was a matrix that I had. Okay. What I wanted to do was I wanted to extract all the rows and column number 1, 2, 3. Right. That is what I want. So Monday to Wednesday, all the three companies. What I will do is I will simply save this into one of my variables. Right. So this is the only thing that I need to do. And my job is done. Clear? Now, anyone, any doubts up till here? Please let me know. Okay, so no doubts. Right. So now what my boss said that, okay, okay, Amit, so you have shared this data, but I feel I do not need the data of Flipkart for now. Just give me this output. Now create this output over here. I just want to see the matrix, and let us call it as prices dot paytm dot Amazon. Just create a new matrix where I just have the data of Paytm and Amazon with me for all these 3 days. Right, Subhagan, you have shared it correct. Row number 1 and 3 and all the columns, right? So I can create that up. So I want to create prices dot Paytm dot Amazon. So what I will do is I will create it as the prices dot this that I already have. In this, I want to extract rows that are 1 and 3 and all the columns. So there I get right. So I observe this Amazon. Right, so Mohammed, yours is right, friends. Yours is correct. Right, so I see most of you have done it correct. So I hope now this is giving you the understanding around how we work with the matrices. Great. Right. So I think that is where we will keep up the things for today's session. Right. So I just like to just briefly discuss on small things over here. That is the last part. That is the data frames that we will be discussing. Okay. So data frame is the next level of it. Right. So data frame is just like where you have it is a two-dimensional data, but in this you can have the data of different data types as well, right? This is what data frames are. So we will be doing this up in tomorrow's session. So that will be the next data structure, and this is the main data structure which we will be working up mostly. Okay.
Sir, link of books.
I'll just do that. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I have just shared this link over here. This is a Google Drive link. Okay, so this will land you up over here. Okay, on this R and Matrices. This is the link of this folder that I have shared. Okay, so if you will just come into this, you will find a lot of stuff. You will find the data sets and everything, and there is a book. There is a book on. Oh, I think the book is not over here. I'll just upload the book. I have to upload that up. ILSR. So it's a book of ILSR. Okay, so you will be able to. I think the book is not here. I'll just upload that book in a while. So please keep this link handy over here. You will find a lot of practice stuff as well. Okay, you'll have to just properly go through it. There are certain assignments also. Like you will find the assignment of ggplot. This is something that we have not done yet. You will find assignment for dplyr, right? Similarly, if you will go down, you will find some assignment for conditional statements. You will find it over here. And then similarly, what I'll be doing is I'll upload a assignment for matrices as well. So I'll upload today an assignment of matrices and a book on this. So those two things I will do it today. Okay. But this is the link where you will find most of the stuff. Okay, so now, so we have this question from Yash. Prices is showing incorrect number of dimensions. Can you please share your code? That what is the code that you have written? Yes. Ashwini, okay, let me try to work on that. Because what I do is I keep on keeping all the stuff over here. So what I do is I'll try to work on it today. And make a separate folder inside. Yes, you can share your code with me. Okay, so please do some practice today in today's, whatever we have done. And one thing I'll upload this code we have written. So let me just do it right away so that I do not miss. So I'm just uploading this. Okay, so that if one of you wants to access this, so you can do it right away. Okay. So that is the code. Yes. Okay. So just uploaded by that the name of 10th October part 2. That is what the code you will find. So that is over here. Yes, sure, Sakshi, you can reach out to me, not a problem. So you can drop me an email any point in time, or you can connect me over WhatsApp. So I'll definitely revert you back. Okay. Okay, class. So that's all for today. So I hope you were able to grab up the topics and concepts. And if you will have any doubts, so we will first of all I'll be taking up the doubts and then we'll move ahead. Okay. So let's connect tomorrow then. So Sahil, as such, you don't have to. It's just a practice that you all have to do. So that is what I was mentioning. So I'll be uploading the exercise for matrices and all. So that is one. Okay. Okay then. Thank you, class. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow. Bye.